Good to see you all. Thank you for joining us today. And I want to thank Triyoga for hosting this and coming up with this idea to begin with and inviting me to breathe with you for a little while. As you can see, we had a couple of technical difficulties which caused us to start a couple of minutes late. So we'll go till 35 after instead of 30 minutes after. Some of you know me from workshops I've done at Triyoga or other places. And some of you are meeting me for the first time, but I've been teaching breath work now to people, particularly for emotional alleviation and healing since, since before fire, as a friend of mine said, since 1995 now. So what that does for me is it enabled me to see tens of thousands of people respond to breath work and to refine my work over the years. So it's been about 26 years now. And the more I teach breath work, the more I feel that, I feel so grateful that finally it's becoming mainstream. Finally, it's hit the zeitgeist because we've needed it for so long. Before COVID struck us, the numbers of individuals with intense anxiety, post-traumatic stress, or just really intense daily stress was off the charts, particularly in the UK. A study there showed an enormous, let's see, the study came out in 2019, I believe, April, an enormous amount of people struggling emotionally in the UK. A full 30% of something like 9,000 people interviewed said they had considered taking their own life in the previous year. The amount of people self-harming in the UK is 1 out of 6. These are pre-COVID numbers. And if you're a 14-year-old girl, the number goes up to 25%. So before COVID ever hit, we were already feeling intense stress, anxiety, loneliness. And one of the interesting things about and sad things about the loneliness subject is the younger people are feeling lonelier than the older people. It used to always be people over 70 that felt loneliest because as you age, in case you don't know this already, people you know pass away. So your community shrinks as you age. And the youngest people in their 20s, 30s, are usually the most social and the least lonely, but now that's reversed because of the intense use of social media particularly, and the addiction to being online instead of actually being in contact physically with each other. Then COVID hit, and of course these numbers have gone way up. We don't have the exact numbers yet, but it's not good. So one of the things we can do while we're separated from each other in proximity geographically is to do breath work. If you can do it with the person that you live with, all the better, because it's, I think, even a bit more powerful when you breathe as a community, even a community of 2. But if you just do it by yourself, you will feel better. But one of the things that I specialized in over the years is not only here, do these breathing exercises and you'll feel better. That's like taking a pill to feel better, and that's valid. To do something each day that will make you feel better, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But also, there are breathing exercises that help you to address the causes of the stress, the cause of the stress we put ourselves under, the cause of the reasons why we isolate ourselves even when we're lonely, the reasons why when we're emotional we hide it for fear that people won't accept it or will shun us if we show vulnerability or any of the big emotions, the grief, shame, fear, anger. If we feel we're not allowed to express these things socially, it just makes them amplify. And then we're taught by our parents to compress them, to shove them down in our chest until we walk around with 20, 30, 50 years of unresolved, unforgiven emotions, unalleviated, and sometimes forgotten emotions in our chest. So I teach 2 types of breathing work, not two methods, but I would divide breathing into 2 categories. One is the daily alleviation of stress. Let me say that again. The daily alleviation of stress and the prevention of developing new anxiety. And then there's the more powerful breathing, which is it's basically, it should be called archaeological breathing practically, because it means we dig a bit into ourselves. We go deeply inward. We crack the shell that we put around us, the armor that we put around us, and allow all this stuff to be released. And of course, I know what you're thinking. Why would I want to do that? I had one man say recently, the last thing I want to do is feel some things or remember things that happened to me when I was a child. Why would I want to do that? And I would answer by saying, well, how's it working out for you the way you're doing it now? Because if you're suffering from anxiety and post-traumatic stress, your method is not working for you. And from my witnessing individual after individual release the past, bring it out, and look at it through the eyes of their current emotional infrastructure, healing occurs to where they don't have panic attacks anymore. I work with people who came to me because they had 5 panic attacks a day. I work with one woman who would wake up 3 or 4 times a night in a panic attack. And they don't have these panic attacks anymore. You don't have to live like this. And that's my main message to you. You don't have to live with panic attacks and anxiety. But we don't have much time today. This is a very short workshop. So what I'm going to do first is teach you a really basic breathing exercise. Some of you may know already. And if you're a teacher, I hope you're teaching everybody the 4-7-8 breath. Now, one of the reasons I'm teaching this to you is because it has double usage. In the daytime, let's say I'm working at my computer and I'm in a stressful time period. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling overworked, overwhelmed. Then I'd go, oh yeah, that breathing exercise Max taught me. So I can stop, do the 4-7-8 for 2 minutes, and I feel better immediately. Not after years of practice, the first time. And the other use for the 4-7-8 breath is now I'm lying down at night. I'm not able to fall asleep very well because I'm under stress. And if I do the 4-7-8 in the dark, under the covers, on my bed, I'll fall asleep, usually much faster. Usually it works in about 2 to 3 minutes. So this is a really good breathing practice to know. So let's do it together now. If you're taking notes, write this down. 4-7-8, just 4-7-8. And the way it works is we create a metered count like a metronome. You don't have to do this when you're in your office or your bed. I'm just doing it for you so you can, you know what speed I'm going to ask you to breathe. So this is the speed I'm going to ask you to breathe. So when I say inhale to the count of 4, I mean at this speed. So sit tall. It's always good to do breathing exercises with a tall spine. So sit up very straight and relax your shoulders and face. Relax your face for the rest of your life. Now, the way you're going to breathe is doing ocean breathing or ujjayi breathing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if those are foreign words to you, just breathe like this. Any way you want. That slows your breath down on the inhale and the exhale. So to prepare everybody, quick exhale. Now inhale to this count. 4. 1, 2, 3. Now your lungs are full. 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slowly exhale. 1, 2. Remember, we're going to 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 4. 1. Side ribs expand. 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. Relax your face. 6, 7, slow exhale, 8, we're going to 8, 2, 3, keep straight spine. As you breathe out, 6, 7, 8, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale again, 1, 2, into your side ribs, 3, expand your chest more, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now do it one more time, but you count internally. You do it. You count. Maybe tap your leg to keep your count. And after 8, release and relax. Okay, relax. Breathe as you like. I always like to take a couple of deep breaths afterwards. Now, a couple of technical tips for you. Number one, if that was too fast or too slow for you, when you do it on your own later, just adjust the speed for what you like. As you do this more and more and more, you'll gradually slow it down. Now, to change it to faster or slower, don't change the numbers. Keep the numbers the same, just do it faster. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4 is counting to 4, and 1, 2, etc. is also counting to 4. So just adjust the speed, don't change the numbers so that you have the same metric. So now that you've done it, I want to remind you, you can do this sitting up like now in the middle of the day. Whenever you feel you know that feeling of, I don't think I've taken a deep breath in the last 5 hours, that feeling, that's when you do this exercise. So you can use it for that and also to help you fall asleep at night. It's well known for that. I usually fall asleep holding my breath. It's funny because sometimes it wakes me up when I exhale. So I'll fall asleep holding my breath during the 7 part. And then I exhale involuntarily and it wakes me up. So it takes me sometimes a couple of times, but I can tell you it works. So that's the 4, 7, 8 breath. And if you're not a yoga person and you don't know how to control your breath, this ocean breathing or ujjayi breathing is just a way of regulating your breath, like using your faucet on the sink to make the water come out faster or slower. So, example, if I want to empty my lungs and I want to do it quickly, all I have to do is open my mouth, open the back of the throat, and full lungs will empty this fast. So those were full lungs to completely empty lungs in less than half a second. But if I make the passage smaller, then it's the difference, for example, from drinking from a big cup of tea like this or sipping it through a straw. So listen to the difference. I did it fast. Now I'll use the ocean breathing. I'll do it through the mouth this time. This will be an inhale. You can do it with me if you want. So that's an inhale. And then you can make the exhale last twice that long. And what this does is it triggers your relaxation response. Your whole nervous system starts to relax and release. So simply breathing, ocean breathing, let's say in 4, out 8, while you're doing something like typing or cooking is also really useful. So if you do the 4, 7, 8 and you know how to do the ocean breathing, use it for that. But if I were going to teach your grandmother, let's say she was in a hospital bed and you brought me in to help her because she won't listen to you because you're her daughter. That's how it is, isn't it? Our parents, our grandparents, they just remember when we were pooping on them and throwing up on them and they were changing our diapers. They just can't get over us thinking we know something that they don't know that's important. So it has to be somebody else that comes in and helps them. So I'm in the hospital with your grandmother now, and I would not say do ocean breathing because it's going to take her a long time to learn because she's not even interested. I would just say sniff and blow. But that's fine for grandma. But if you want to develop a lifelong breathing practice, I recommend you learn how to do ocean breathing. So that's one you can do every day, ocean breathing in general. And also, of course, the 4, 7, 8 breath. Now I want to work on one with you. I'm going to show you one that you might not have done before, which is more intense in a good way. And it gives you access to your psychology, to your memory, to your emotional life, which is extremely useful in this life we live. Unfortunately, we often have deep fear of what's inside of us, which is tragic when you think about it. But the thing we fear most is inside our own heart. It's tragic, I think. And I used to be the same way. I thought if I ever let all this emotion out, I didn't think this, I felt it. I felt like if I let all this emotion out, it would destroy me and probably destroy the world. And it's an irrational fear, but it's powerful. It doesn't mean it's not there and not inhibiting you terribly. So this can help you very much. Now, if you're really ill right now, I don't recommend this breathing exercise. And this particular one, I don't recommend for pregnancy either. If you're pregnant, just watch this one and do it later after you're not pregnant. But for everybody else, it's really useful. You will feel lightheaded, but that's not a problem. You can always just stop whenever you want to. You have the control. And so far, I've never had anybody faint from doing this exercise after teaching it for a couple of decades. So it's safe, but you might feel euphoric from this. You might feel, in other words, blissful. You might feel angry. You might feel deep grief coming out of you. They're all okay. You might just feel a little lightheaded. So there's not a guaranteed outcome, but you will feel something, I promise. So for this one, of course, we want to sit up straight. The breathing apparatus works better when you sit up straight. So that's why we do it. This breathing exercise is done through the mouth. I call it the opening breath because it opens the heart. So with this one, we use our voice a bit. So you might want to close your window if it's open so your neighbors don't think less of you. And it goes like this. I'll just demonstrate it quickly. So I'll break it down for you quickly. If you put your hands on your side ribs like this now, and your elbows behind you, when you inhale, try to make your ribs move out to the sides like this. See, my ribs are moving out and in, not up and down. Out and in. My hands are down here. This is where your diaphragm muscle is. This is the way to make the diaphragm move the most it can. So that means your lungs will fill the most they can. So I go. But when I exhale, I use my voice, not just my breath. So this is wrong. This is right. So it's kind of like singing, a little bit breathy, kind of like the Bee Gees in the late 70s. Okay, they did everything very breathy. Here we go. We're going to do this for about Well, a little bit longer than you want to. I'll do 4. Join me on number 4 so you can get the rhythm and do it with me. We're all going to do it together. Hi. 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 Use your voice. Hi. 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 Inhale deeper. Hi. Shoulders down. Hi. Shoulders down. Hi. Hi. 30 seconds more. Hi. 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 Once more. Hi. Stop. Now, deep breath in slowly. Hold your breath a second. Sit very tall and relax your face. Slow exhale. Exhale totally, and then pause. Notice that inhaling is not particularly necessary at the moment. Into your side ribs, quickly inhale. Hold your breath in. Relax, exhale out. Breathe as you like for a moment. Notice how you feel. Well done. Okay. Now, we're going to do one more round. And after that round, I'm going to lead you through a short visualization that just takes about 3 minutes. We only have about 7 or 8 minutes left. So after we complete this workshop, I suggest you rest a little bit. Lie down, notice how you feel. And if any memories come up or strong emotions, make notes, write them down. We always think we'll remember everything, but we almost never do. So do take notes. And the people that you live with, tell them to be a little gentler with you for the rest of the day, because you might be a little more raw, a little more emotional. All right, here we go. We're going to do the same thing again, but this time we'll do it half the time. Last time was 3 minutes. This time will be 1.5 minutes. Join me when you're ready. I almost forgot to tell you. Maybe you notice I took the tip of my tongue to the roof of my mouth when I inhale. That helps keep the throat more moist. It's more comfortable. On the exhale, I let the tongue down. Here we go. Hi. 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 Chest expands. Hi. 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 High. 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 Once more. High. Deepest breath in. Hold your breath. Slow exhale. Keep a straight spine and a relaxed face while you empty your lungs 95%. And then hold out. So you have empty lungs now. Deepest breath in. Hold your breath in. Slow exhale. Relax. Breathe as you like. Keep your eyes closed. Feel free to adjust your legs whenever you need to so your feet don't fall asleep. Now listen to the sound of my voice as I lead you through a visualization. So if you can, keep your eyes closed. Simply listen. I want you to think of someone in your life that you would like to be closer to right now, whether physically or emotionally, or you would like the relationship to be deeper, more intimate. Choose the first person who comes to your mind and visualize that person sitting next to you or in front of you, and they're gazing at you with love and respect. They're happy to see you. Breathe with them. Don't stop your breathing. Don't stifle your breathing when you feel something. Let the feelings come. Breathe with them. This beloved that you've imagined. And in your imagination, hold them so close to you. Hug them so tightly like you never let them go. And feel their arms hug you back just as tightly, cheek to cheek. And let any feelings you have for them burst from your heart into their heart. And know that they feel you. Even if now at this moment they're 1,000 miles away, they feel this right now. Breathe so they can hear your breath in their ear. Breath of peace. The breath of connection. The breath of forgiveness. And when you're ready, allow this image to dissolve away. But keep the feeling. Savor the feeling. And when you're ready, open your eyes. This is the power of your breath. I look forward to seeing you again. If I could, I would hug each one of you right now. Thank you, my friends. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take good care of each other. Be gentle with each other. Forgive each other. I'll see you again.